What happened? Oh, we'll have to fix that. All right. Uh-oh, I lost my page. Good morning, 6th grade. We are starting chapter 19 today. Chapter 19. It appears that we left off with Lena describing how people were inside the cars of the train, describing how people were sick. And she had started drawing on the handkerchief that she planned to send to her dad. And when they got into a new train station, there was another train that was filled with men. And so they were hoping that maybe they could find their dad. So today, we're going to start with chapter 19. And I'm going to read through chapter 24, and then we were going to stop. So it's a little bit shorter today, just so that we don't have a real long reading. All right. So, the train with the Russian soldiers rolled away. The doors were opened, and Jonas jumped out without the buckets. I looked over to Ona as she was forcing the dead child towards her. "No," she said through gritted teeth, rocking back and forth. "No, no." Mother moved toward her. "Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry." "No," Ona screamed, clutching her baby. Hot tears stung my parched eyes. "What are you crying for?" complained the old man. "You knew it was going to happen. What was a baby going to eat? Lice? You're all imbeciles. The thing is better off. When I die, if you're all smart, you'll eat me if you all want to survive so badly." He prattled on, grating, infuriating, the words distorted. I heard only the timbre of his voice thumping in my ears. Blood pumped through my chest and rose up my neck. "You idiot!" Andreas screamed and lurched toward the bald man. "If you don't shut your mouth, old man, I'll tear your tongue out. I'll do it. I'll make the Soviets look kind." No one spoke or tried to stop Andreas, not even Mother. I felt relief, as if the words had come from my own mouth. "You're only concerned with yourself," Andreas continued. "When the Germans kick the Soviets out of Lithuania, we'll leave you here on the tracks so we don't have to put up with you anymore." "Boy, you don't understand. The Germans aren't going to solve the problem. Hitler's going to create more," said the bald man. "Those lists," he muttered. "No one wants to hear from you. You understand?" "Ona, dear," said Mother, "give me the baby." "Don't give her to them," begged Ona. "Please." "We will not give her to the guards, I promise," said Mother. She examined the baby one last time, feeling for a pulse or a breath. "We'll wrap her in something beautiful." Ona sobbed. I moved to open the door to get some air. Jonas returned, carrying the buckets this time. "Why are you crying?" he asked, climbing up. I shook my head. "What's wrong?" he pressed. "The baby has died," said Andreas. "Our baby?" he asked softly, and Andreas nodded. Jonas put down the buckets. He looked over toward Mother, holding the bundle, and then at me. He knelt down and took the small stone out of his pocket, making a mark on the floorboards next to the others. He paused for a few moments, motionless, and began slamming the stone against the markings harder and harder. He beat the floorboards with such force that I thought he might break his hand. I moved toward him. Andreas stopped me. "Let him do it," he said. I looked up at him, uncertain. "Better that he gets used to it," he said. "Used to what? The feeling of uncontrolled anger or sadness so deep that, like your very core, has been hollowed out and fed back to you from the dirty bucket?" I looked at Andreas, his face still wrapped with bruising. He saw me staring. "Are you used to it?" I asked. A muscle in his jaw twitched, and he pulled a cigarette from his pocket and lit it. "Yeah," he said, blowing a stream of smoke into the air. "I am used to it." People discussed the war and how the Germans might save us. For once, the bald man said nothing. I wondered if what he said about Hitler was true. Could we be trading Stalin's sickle for something worse? No one seemed to think so. Papa would know. He always knew those sorts of things, but he never discussed them with me. He discussed them with Mother. Sometimes at night I'd hear whispers and murmurs from their other room. I knew that meant they were talking about the Soviets. I thought about Papa. Did he know about the war? Did he know we all had lice? Did he know we were huddled together with a dead baby? Did he know how much I missed him? And I clutched the handkerchief in my pocket, thinking of Papa's smiling face. Memory flash. "Hold still," I complained. "I had an itch," said Father, grinning. "You did not. You're just trying to make this difficult," I teased, trying to capture his bright eyes. "I'm teasing you. Real artists must be able to capture the moment," he said. "But if you don't hold still, your eyes will be crooked," I said, shading the side of his face with my pencil. "They're crooked anyway," he said, crossing his eyes. I laughed. "What do you hear from your cousin Joanna?" he asked. "Nothing lately. I sent her a drawing of that cottage in Nida she liked last summer. I didn't even get a note back from her. Mother said she received it, but is busy with her studies." "She is," said Papa. "She hopes to be a doctor someday, you know." I knew Joanna spoke often of medicine and her hopes of being a pediatrician. She was always interrupting my drawing to tell me about the tendons in my fingers or my joints. If I so much as sneezed, she would rattle off a list of infectious diseases that would have me in the grave by nightfall. Last summer, she had met a boy while we were on vacation in Nida. I wait up every night to hear the details of their dates. As a 17-year-old, she had the wisdom and experience as well as the anatomy book that fascinated me. "There," I said, finishing the drawing. "What do you think?" "What's that?" my father asked, pointing to the paper. "My signature." "Your signature? It's a scribble. No one will recognize your name." I shrugged. "You will."